Guild Wars 2 is one of my favorite MMOs of all time, but I've been on a bit of a break from it recently in favor of trying out Final Fantasy XIV. I've been loving that game, but as soon as I got into crafting, glamours, and dyes, I was missing the amazing quality of life features in Guild Wars. Don't get me wrong, Guild Wars has its share of problems, but I think it's the gold standard for things like crafting and MMO fashion management. Lots of MMOs seem to be filled with awkward inventory systems or are loaded with features that waste your time. So let's compare Guild Wars' quality of life features to other games and see where they might take some inspiration from Guild Wars. So let's start with gathering. In most MMOs, crafting classes take materials to work with, and the cheapest way to get those materials is gathering them yourself. This can be using pickaxes, hatchets, and more to get valuable ore and wood for armor and weapons. In Final Fantasy XIV, gathering from a node requires you to change your class by equipping a new main hand equipment. So you'll always either be equipped for combat or gathering, but never both. Once you find nodes where the material you want is, you click on it to gather, mount up, run to the next node, repeat. This process doesn't take very long, but it's entirely separated from normal gameplay, and things like mount channel times and failed gathering attempts will really add up over time. All of this is to say, gathering in Final Fantasy XIV isn't very involved. It's nice when you just want to watch some Netflix while making some progress in your MMO, but it's pretty boring if you're actually actively playing. Guild Wars' approach to gathering isn't so different. Like Final Fantasy XIV, you use gathering equipment to farm nodes for materials, but there are a few key differences that make Guild Wars 2 gathering much less obtrusive. First, you equip gathering equipment in addition to all of your normal gear, so you don't have to dedicate your gameplay to gathering or combat alone. You can fight monsters and adventure, and then just grab gathering nodes without really interrupting what you were doing. If you want to dedicate your play session to gathering, you can still do that and it'll make gathering faster, but you don't have to switch between different gathering equipment for different types of nodes, and you don't even have to deal with channeling times when mounting up. Just playing Guild Wars normally and grabbing nodes that you run into will have your inventory loaded with materials in no time. And that'll bring us to our next point, which is inventory management. In Final Fantasy XIV, anyone that does a lot of crafting and gathering will quickly run out of inventory space from their huge load of logs, ore, and leather. Compounding this is Final Fantasy XIV's high-quality materials system. High-quality ingredients take up a separate slot from regular materials, so every material you farm for will end up taking multiple spots in your inventory. You do get some extra inventory space from your retainers and your chocobo saddlebags, but it can still get pretty overwhelming and hard to find your items before long. In Guild Wars, when your back is breaking from a hard day of gathering and your bags are stuffed with materials, all you have to do is press the Deposit All Materials button, and this will immediately get rid of all crafting materials and place them into your material storage, which holds all of your components until it's time to get to crafting. This means that in Guild Wars, my inventory is never overloaded with components. Instead, it just has my gear, food, and other stuff that I actively want to use. Then, when I want to go crafting, I don't have to look for my materials. Every material I have is directly at my fingertips, even if I gathered it on a completely different character. So Guild Wars has the most manageable crafting system of any MMO I've played, and I think this extends to cosmetics too. Guild Wars 2 offers two main forms of cosmetic customization in the form of dyes and wardrobe. Every piece of equipment you unlock in Guild Wars gets added to your wardrobe as a skin. Even if you drop it or break it down for materials later, you'll still have the skin forever. Then you can apply unlocked skins to your characters from anywhere in the world at the click of a button. Final Fantasy XIV glamours are similar and easy enough to work with, but it doesn't quite match up the simplicity of Guild Wars' unlock forever, apply anywhere system. Guild Wars' dye system is fairly similar to its cosmetic system. Once you unlock a dye, you have it unlocked on all of your characters and you can use it as often as you want. This can make some of the more sought-after dyes pretty expensive, but you'll only ever have to buy them once. Then, much like equipment skins, you can apply them to your gear anywhere in the world at any time, as many times as you want, and on any character on your account. So Guild Wars 2 isn't a perfect MMO, pretty far from it in fact, but the quality of life features it includes are second to none in the MMO space. MMOs often have awesome gameplay, great stories, and fun dungeons, but they also pretty frequently have some clunky features when it comes to things like crafting and inventory management. I would love it if more MMOs took a page out of Guild Wars' book when it comes to making games as playable as possible. So what are some of your favorite quality of life features in MMOs? Let me know in the comments below and consider subscribing if you liked the video. I also stream every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. CST on twitch.tv/badgerbarian, so check that out if you're interested, and have an awesome week.